Hey everyone, James Slotnick here. This morning I realized we're just about 100 days away from the election and I have not done nearly enough videos. So we are going to pick up the pace, you can be sure of that. Today we're going to look at the possible midterm outcomes. And there's really only three outcomes that are possible. The first is that Democrats retain the House and the Senate. The second is that Republicans flip the House, but Democrats retain the Senate. And the third is that Republicans flip both the House and the Senate. Now, what do these three different outcomes mean? Well, if the Democrats retain the House and the Senate, we essentially are in the status quo of what we've had for the last 2 years. Democrats can move legislation if they can stay united through the budget reconciliation process. Judicial appointments, which are controlled by the Senate, those would continue to move forward. Now, if Republicans take the House, but Democrats retain the Senate, that means Democrats can't move legislation without bipartisan support. They need Republican support, particularly in the House, to move things forward. What we would likely see, just as we saw in 2019 and pre-COVID 2020, we would see Republicans pass messaging bills in the House, as Speaker Pelosi did in 2019 and pre-COVID 2020, because they'd be able to move legislation there to start making the case for 2024. In the Senate side, judicial appointments would be really what the focus would be, very similar to 2019 and pre-COVID 2020, as Democrats would control the Senate and continue to move judicial appointments forward. The third outcome is that Republicans flip the House and the Senate. This would lead to real gridlock in Washington. Republicans would be able to pass legislation in the House. They may be able to try to use budget reconciliation to move legislation in the Senate, but of course, President Biden is unlikely to sign many of those bills. So Republicans in that case would have to find Democratic support to move legislation forward to get them to President Biden's desk. Again, there's only three outcomes that can happen from these elections. I'm just a lobbyist. I'm not a prognosticator. We'll know a lot more as we get closer to November 8th. But we should be aware, depending on what happens, it could be much harder for legislation to move forward if Republicans control one or both chambers. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.